Hello football lovers, especially Chelsea fans. Let me introduce myself. My name is UB Pawada. As usual, I will provide the latest and most updated news that I have summarized for you. But before that, I want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe, so you always get notifications every day. As usual, before we start, I want to thank you for commenting on my previous video. Thanks to Gibenga Ogunbowale from Nigeria, Idrissa Dean from Sierra Leone, Okoro Henry, Kingston Kennedy from Nigeria, Raphael Jabaku from Ghana, Joseph James, Timothy Ogbonna, Sam Loko from Nigeria, Johnson Okitwi, Simon Tata, Onyeka Sunny White, Talibu Juma from Uganda, Abiyadaka from Zambia, Josephus Yane, John Herbertson from Nigeria, Dominic Mwangeka, Eyong Sonem Manuelokwe, Musayan Kubakone, Santos Alobo, Kuro Koterel, Adedayo Samuel Oladele, Mojalefa Tsoeu, Jones Firi, Augustine Lajan George from Sierra Leone, Joseph James, Sir Banks from Jamaica, Arinze Eze from Nigeria, HCBC ENT, Sifas Setim, Babalola Mayowa, Akinkuatuo Lubasegun, Kelvin Moaura, Amens Ghana, Eric Akinbobola, Christ Cruz, Aloyo Keja, Kamva Puti, Man of God, Lee Habibullah Abubakar Siddiq from Nigeria, Ikena Iya, Kalilu Fode, Jacob Homala, Afiz Adeola, Thomas Wathuta, Thomas Sinta, Francis Bright, Jonathan Musonda from Zambia, Ibanga Edom, Alabi Idris from Nigeria, Michael Taylor, Jesse Barchu live from Liberia, Kelvin Mwara, and finally there is Thomas Wathuta. And all friends can leave comments below this video so I can mention it in the next video. Thank you and enjoy watching. Next, we will discuss the good news from Chelsea. Reece James has returned to training with the squad after going through a long injury period. Let's see the latest developments ahead of the match against Liverpool. Reece James had a very difficult start to the season after being forced to miss out due to injury. He has not played since getting a red card against Brighton in the last match of last season. After undergoing hamstring surgery at the end of 2023, James has only appeared in 5 matches in the league. After several months of struggling, James has finally returned to training with the Chelsea first team. Despite experiencing a slight setback during the rehabilitation process, the latest news is that he has returned to training at Cobham during the October international break. Chelsea will face Liverpool at Anfield on Sunday. Unfortunately, they will be without 2 defenders, Marc Cucurella and Wesley Fofana, who are suspended due to accumulation of yellow cards. Although there is hope of seeing James back in action, it is unlikely that Enzo Maresca will immediately put him in the starting 11 after a long absence. After the match against Liverpool, Chelsea have a busy schedule. They travel to Greece to face Panathinaikos in the Europa Conference League, followed by 2 Premier League and Carabao Cup games against Newcastle United. It is a great opportunity for James to get back into the team. The return of Reece James is good news for Chelsea as they prepare for a tough challenge at Anfield. Will he be back to his best soon? Share your thoughts in the comments. Next, we will discuss the current situation ahead of the fierce match between Liverpool and Chelsea, which will be held on Sunday. There is surprising news regarding a number of players who are likely to be absent. Let's see. Liverpool will be back in action to maintain their position at the top of the standings. On the other hand, Chelsea have also started the season well, currently in 4th place after being unbeaten since losing their opening match against Manchester City. Unfortunately, Chelsea have to struggle without several key players. Wesley Fofana and Marc Cucurella are definitely absent due to suspension after receiving 5 yellow cards. This is a big loss for coach Enzo Maresca. There is positive hope for Reece James, who may be able to return after suffering a long injury. James has just returned to training, but Maresca must be careful not to worsen his condition. Carney Chukwuemeka is expected to return after being out with illness, but Omari Kellyman will still be sidelined with a hamstring injury. This puts Chelsea's squad depth to the test. In the Liverpool camp, good news came with the return of Harvey Elliott to training. However, he is still recovering from a foot injury and is unlikely to be able to play until the end of this month. Liverpool's first-choice goalkeeper Alisson Becker is expected to be out for a long time after suffering a hamstring injury against Crystal Palace. Kawhimin Kelleher will return to the starting lineup in Alisson's place. Arne Slot is hoping for good news on Alexis Mac Allister and Federico Chiesa. McAllister is already confirmed for Argentina, but Liverpool will hope there are no side effects from his injury. Chiesa, on the other hand, needs to recover quickly to be able to return to the team. With so many players in question, the clash between Liverpool and Chelsea is sure to be exciting and tense. Who will replace these key players? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Next up is Chelsea captain Reece James's return to training after months out, and Enzo Maresca's enthusiastic reaction. Will he be ready to feature in the game against Liverpool this weekend? Let's take a look. Reece James has returned to training with the team after battling a long injury. In this training session, Enzo Maresca's cheerful face was seen as he watched his team captain rejoin his teammates. James was very excited to get his first minutes under Maresca's leadership. Maresca's happy face as he watched James train showed how important his captain's presence is to the team. During the training session, Maresca was seen smiling widely, showing his full support for the England international. Previously, James had shown promising performances during pre-season before suffering an injury. Chelsea will travel to Anfield on the back of a disappointing draw against Nottingham Forest. Although Chelsea dominated the game, they were grateful to take a point thanks to a brilliant save from goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Although Chelsea remain unbeaten in the league after their opening defeat to Manchester City, all eyes will now be on Enzo Maresca. The manager is expected to provide an update on Reece James's availability to face Liverpool. Will James feature in this crucial match? Reece James's return to training is a positive sign for Chelsea, especially ahead of the crucial match at Anfield. What are your thoughts on James's potential inclusion? Share in the comments. Next, we will discuss the latest news from Chelsea ahead of the important match against Liverpool at Anfield. There is good news about the return of team captain Reece James, which has made many players, including Pedro Neto, very excited. Let's find out more. Enzo Maresca is preparing the Chelsea squad to face their toughest test of the season. After a promising start, Chelsea will travel to Anfield to face league leaders Liverpool. Training at Cobham this week was highly anticipated as Reece James finally rejoined the team after a long injury. Although there is no certainty whether he will play against Liverpool, his presence on the training field brings new hope to the players and fans. One player who is very happy with James's return is Pedro Neto. He showed his enthusiasm by commenting on Chelsea's Instagram post welcoming James's return. Neto himself is struggling to defend the Portuguese national team, but his enthusiasm for his teammate is very much felt. Meanwhile, Renato Veiga, who has just made his debut for Chelsea, is also in the spotlight. After performing impressively, he is expected to play from the start against Liverpool, replacing the suspended Marc Cucurella. Although Malo Gusto has done well in place of James, everyone is looking forward to seeing what James can do when he returns to the pitch. The Liverpool game is not just a test for Chelsea, but also a chance for them to prove their worth. James's return will be a positive, even if he may not start straight away. With a lot of hope and enthusiasm in the squad, Chelsea are ready to face a big challenge at Anfield. Can they get a positive result? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Chelsea have been dealt a blow as goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen picked up an injury while on international duty with Denmark under-21 against Iceland. Jorgensen, who joined from Villarreal for £20 million, had to be substituted in the first half after being involved in a collision with a teammate. Although Denmark won 2-0, it added to a long list of injury problems for Chelsea. We are still waiting to hear more about the extent of the injury. He will return to West London to rejoin his teammates ahead of the Liverpool game. As well as Jorgensen, Chelsea are also without Wesley Fofana and Marc Cucurella, who are both serving suspensions. This will add to the challenges for Enzo Maresca ahead of the game at Anfield. Maresca is due to provide a further update on Jorgensen and the rest of the squad towards the end of the week. Stay tuned for more updates.